Welcome everyone to IG8Live Esports. Extremely sorry about the confusion on the stream link as we got started with that. We lost connection to the network for a few minutes and we had to just restart the entire stream link as it was there. Anyway, I think we're good so far as we're going. Hopefully no more interruptions as we get along through the stream. I think everyone is back online as well. So welcome everyone on to the stream here. We are on with NOMEX Racing and this is with Thursday Division and finally on with an F1 race here at Italy. So it should be quite an interesting one. We got a full session going on with a full qualifying session, and we're going to be doing a 50% race here around the track. So we got some time to get through qualifying. We're going to go through Q1, 2, and 3. Let's see how well that's going to go. Of course, about 18 minutes already started for qualifying 1 as we're already on the way. We got a few cars out on track, and I think we should be starting to see some lap times coming pretty soon. Pretty fast along the track here, and it's going to be some interesting racing as well. We'll see how well the guys have got their practice in for this race. Let's just see how qualifying goes and who's going to be on top of this. We got 17 drivers in the session. I think quite a decent number to work with. So let's see how well everyone gets on through. We're going to switch on to a few different drivers. Let's see how the laps are currently going. I think we got Cape Meister as the first driver to get on a qualifying lap here. Let's see where he is going to be at the end of this one, driving in a Red Bull. Goes through turn 1 pretty well. Pretty heavy braking zone down into that one there, and of course a pretty long run down into turn 1 as we're going to be getting started with this race in close to an hour's time. So we'll see how well that's going to actually work out for the drivers, because remember there's going to be a lot of cars bunched up down there on trying to get through that. So it does make for some interesting racing, especially on the opening lap, to see who goes wide or who goes off track, if we're going to have a safety car or VSC as we get on through with that there. Welcome J Marks onto the stream. Thank you for joining on. And remember guys, please do leave a like on the stream as you get on there. It does help us out a lot when you do that. So please make sure you leave a like on the stream, and also make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel there. I think quite a few of you already are from when we used to stream before. So thanks for that. Also guys, thanks very much to Ace there, owner of NOMEX Racing, did leave us a tip through our tip link on the in the description of the video. I think he did that like an hour ago. I think I actually can bring that up on screen possibly if I can. Let me see if I can just have a look. And yep, there we go. They did send us $5.99 through our tip pay. Thanks very much for him for doing that. Even though he made me co-owner of the league, he still showed some support through for the channel for me. So thanks very much to him. I think we got some time in already. I didn't even notice. So we got Cave Meister 121.1 so far. Not too bad of a time. Got Hess there 122.2. Barrels with a 122.0. It's pretty close off so far, even for the first set of lap times coming in here in qualifying 1. You would expect them to actually be a bit more spaced out, but these guys are pretty competitive in terms of what we saw from the F2 race with some of them who were from this division driving on that on Monday as well. Red Bull goes a bit wide there, but I don't think he's trying to make a lot of time as yet. He goes 121.8. Got up quite a few times in. Miles 122.4. Got West 123.6. Got Code 124.3. And move over 125.2. Not too bad so far on the Panda Gaming. He's still on an outlap though. Let's have a look at Bro Gorilla at the moment. I think he's trying to get a good time in about to finish off this lap here as it is there in the house. And let's see where he goes. 7 so far, 123.9. Not too bad of a lap. And looks like Krakoot did not make it back to the pits, which means that lap time is not going to stand at 124.3. Going to push him down to the bottom of the grid. That's most likely going to mean he is out of qualifying 2, because it's usually just our top 15, depending on the number we start the session with. That's into P1. That pushes kind of giving down to third. Cape Meister down to second. Not bad lap here, 121.009. and hope 10 better than what came out. So this, so pretty good lap from him so far. As we get on through this, the thing more drivers start to get some laps in. Ice one A-Lad out on track on their out laps. Where is Ace at the moment? Ricky just got a time in there as well, a 122.5, puts them into 8 at the moment. Not too bad of a, now down to 9th actually. Those Lance there in the hands goes 120.7, and he goes up into P1 in the session, leading the session for now, and that is going to be for now. Let's see who else is going to get a better time in. Where's Ice One? And let's see where he's going to be going with this. Trying to get a good exit off of turn 1, 2 there. Let's see how well the rest of the lap is actually going to go for him. Does he get a purple sector 1? Will actually help to start this lap out pretty well for him if he can do that. And does it look like it's going to be purple? It's just going to be hopefully somewhere still in a pretty good range that actually get him going through for even into our top 10 at this point here. We got West down to 9th, Ace down to 10th, Gorilla down to 11th, Move over down to 12. Smith and Aiden Bell without lap times as yet. They're still in the pit lane there at the moment. Whilst we're getting out in just a bit, we got just under 9 minutes left here right now in qualifying 1. Got a car down the side of the track. Can't tell if it was a Ferrari or not. Okay, so 10th there for Ice on a 122.3. Not too bad of a time. Trying to have a look where A-Lad is in the session here. Apologies for the size, guys. I'm just having a look at the stream at the moment here. Not sure exactly what's going on, but we possibly might be having this is on my end, we're possibly having some network issues here today. I'm not sure what the heck is going on, but hopefully we don't have a disconnection as we get on through this. I'm trying to keep an eye on it right now because the bitrate is currently down from what it should be in terms of with the internet here. I had a ton of some this morning. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with this, but hopefully the stream keeps up. I'm gonna keep an eye on it as we get along through the session. The old link, of course, is on private, and we're on a new one. Let's have a look. I'm trying to have a look at the stream quality, what it is right about now. If it's not good, it means that we definitely are having some internet issues here, which is not good at this point. So let me see what's going on. 1 second, guys. Alright, it's running on 1080 on my end, but I think we're having some issues with that. Maybe 720 better to watch it in case we're having some issues. Hey Tot, welcome to the stream. Anyone having lag issues watching the stream in 1080, drop it down to 720 because there's a network issue at the moment, because I'm having problems even watching it myself in that. It's streaming in that, but it's not probably going to be showing too well on that. It's going and coming a bit, so I probably got to drop it down to 720 maybe. I can't change that as I'm recording here. Yeah, it works better than 720. Yeah guys, I'm definitely having some network issues at this point here right about now, so anyone watching the stream, drop the quality down to 720. Because 1080 is probably not sufficient enough to run the stream right at the moment, and I can't change anything at this point, so hopefully we still got a stream running at this point here. So I'm going to spend the rest of qualifying one just making sure that this is actually going where it's supposed to at this point. Alright, so far so good. Hopefully everything continues as it should. I'm just gonna turn the mic off for a second, guys. We had 4 minutes left in qualifying one. Let me just have a look at something here. Okay, so closing off qualifying one, I think I've got the stream a bit under controls in terms of whatever the heck was going on. Connection is back to excellent. Let's see if we can continue the rest of the stream. Hopefully in this form over here right now. New link has been posted in Discord for the drivers who were trying on there. So unfortunately, sorry about that, guys. The previous stream link is going to be on private, so I'm gonna have to just delete that one there. Alright, so you're not gonna be able to get back onto that one there. I have to just switch it around. Yep, it is still giving some minor issues possibly, but if you're having any issues watching the stream, drop it down to 720. Don't watch it in 1080. That's basically what we can have happen there. When the process is on YouTube, it'll be available in 1080 to just rewatch as it is. This should be fine, hopefully. Let's see what's gonna happen. Anyway, let's see what we got going on track here in terms of Drivers are currently left running on the track at the moment here. So Vince is still fastest in the Q1 session. 20 seconds left to go. 120.4 for him. Lancer their second. 120.7. Caveman is the third fastest. 121.1. Not too bad with the lap times there in terms of the 121s, especially. I would say we go all the way down to Ice 1 there in 10th. West starts off the 122s, going all the way to move over there in 14th. Let's see our drivers who are going to be making it over to the qualifying 2 session. Usually is the top 15 out of the full grid of 20 drivers, but of course we only have 17. Let's see how that works itself out, as yep, session has come to an end. Just waiting for all drivers to get their cars back into the garage or just retire off the session, and we can have a look at what's going to happen next. Yep, stream seems to be setting itself right about now. I'm not sure what the heck was happening before. So once again, guys, please do leave a like on the new stream link that we have going on. Everyone kind of liked the previous one before. A little work for you guys to do. Just leave a like on the new stream link, and yeah, let's go forward with that from there. So I think we still have move over running on track here. Aiden as well. I think he's still running on track. Not sure, is he currently in a lap? Does look like he is still running a lap. Let's see if the Mercedes driver can get a better lap in than what he currently has, a 121.4, running on softs here at the moment. Let's see if he can improve. I'm going to stay on board with this as he finishes off sector 3 here. Let's see if he's doing a better lap or not. Getting around that parabolic right there at the moment to get onto the start finish straight. And is he going to go into the pits or finish? He's going to finish. And goes up to P3 to close off the qualifying 1 session. Not a bad finish from him there in terms of getting that done. So I think well done for the drivers there for Q1. Some pretty competitive lap times, and you would expect these lap times to get quite more competitive as we get down into qualifying 2, and especially just right. Okay, so there we have the results there for qualifying 1. Vinci was fastest in the session. Lance their second fastest for Haas, and Aiden for the Mercedes third fastest in the session so far. 120.4, 120.7, and 120.9. Top 3 in the 120. Pretty impressive so far. I think most of our drivers are in the 121s going down. And yeah, let me just advance through that, so we can have a look what happened down at the bottom. So we got top 14 drivers because we had Krakut was out early off in the session. Had a feeling this was going to happen. When you have a driver out, it's one less going over to qualifying 2. So we got our top 14 going over to qualifying 2 right now, and let's see how well that session will progress on through. And yeah, should be quite interesting because that's going to be for whatever tires they're going to be starting the race on. Whichever one they do their fastest laps on, they will have to start the race on, and then we go into qualifying 3. So it's been a while since we actually done a F1 race, a stream here. Of course, been a few months, so we'll probably just go back through that again. So qualifying 2, guys, whatever tires these guys do their fastest lap times on, they are going to be required to start the race on that set of tires, provided though that the race start is going to be a dry one. If it's wet, they get a free choice, and yep, they can go through from that way there. Alright, so we got quite a few drivers who are currently heading out on track here at the moment. And we're just gonna have a few stuff added on the screen. So we've added track map, and we've added on tires there as well, so we can see what exactly is going on with that. On with little Letty there at the moment, running on the softs in terms of trying to get this lap going. Okay, so we're about to get these laps started here right about now. Let's see how well this is going to work with our drivers as we move on through with it. Alright, so we should start the season lap times in pretty soon. So we did go all the way up into the 120s with our top 3 finishers there from Q1. Let's see what our qualifying 2 session is going to be holding for us. Of course, right now we got some drivers on the mediums, we got some drivers on the softs. Softs, of course, faster than the mediums here on the track. So let's see what's going to happen in terms of that and what the possible plan strategies are for this race here in terms of what drivers are going to be starting on. Are they going to want to be starting on the softs or the mediums as we get on through the session? We got quite a few lap times coming in here already. If I alternate 121.8, Smith 121.9, only a tenth off. We got Lilliat 123.5 by about 2 seconds off, so probably try to improve that time as much as he can there. We got Aiden coming around here, and let's see where he's gonna put this car as he gets across the line here right about now on the mediums and goes 122.2. Not too bad of a so far. Miles at 122.4 on the mediums as well, so those mediums are working actually pretty well compared to the softs there. Of course, this is only the first run here to compare them in this qualifying session. Let's see what the rest of the session is gonna hold as they get further into this. Got A-Lad already out of the session. That might reduce what we got going over into qualifying 3 as he did coming into qualifying 2. So we might be looking at the top 9 only going over to that session. That makes it just a bit more worrisome for the drivers in terms of making it over to qualifying 3. We got a purple sector 1 on this cart now from Aiden, who's currently third fastest in the session. Might be going for another lap here. Definitely look like he is as he's pushing as much as he can there in that Mercedes. Let's see if he gets a better lap in. And of course, this is on the medium set of tires that he has on here. We got Ace on an out lap, we got Ice 1 on an out lap. Let's see where those two go as they get their laps started. Let's have a look where is Ace on track here at the moment, and I think he's still getting through sector 2 right about now, so still some time before we have him go there on track. But let's see what's happening in terms of that. So we got Farrelty and Smith back into the pits. They're probably happy with those lap times there at the moment. Did it on the softs, of course, 121 for both of them, and in the higher side of the 121s. But let's see if they're going to keep those lap times and possibly try for a different lap time before the session comes to an end, because the point of this is just to qualify on the tires that you want to and make it over to qualifying 3 at the same time. Ace here about to go for it as he gets through sector 3 of the track around the Parabolica and gets qualifying lap there in the Aston Martin. If he's going to get a good lap in here or not. I think he's hoping to get at least into the top 7 or top 6 just to avoid getting left out of Q3 at this point. He now gets started. Of course, he's trying to do this on the mediums here as well. I think we're on current tires that these guys are running on, so let me just have a quick look at that there, see what's going on in terms of that. So this is what they've done their best times on so far. Let's leave it on best so we can actually see what exactly is going on here on track. In qualifying 3, of course, you know, everyone's going to be running the soft tires, so no need to worry too much about what they're going to be running on there. That is, of course, an invalidated lap there from Ace so far, so I'm not going to make much of that. We got kind of given here, guys. Okay, so back on again. Sorry about the disruption, and I'm not even sure what the heck just happened. Alright, so still there in qualifying 2. Let's see what we've missed so far in terms of the session. Still no lap time for him there as yet, unfortunately. I think he was just trying to get me back on the session there as well. We got just under 3 minutes left here for qualifying 2, and let's see what we got going on. So Biology fastest in the session so far. Let's bring tires back online so we can have a look in terms of what's going on with that there at the moment. So best tires that it did on, looks like he qualified on the soft tires as it is. Majority of the drivers seem to have done their lap times on the mediums. We got Aiden Bell there on the mediums with a 121.872, just about 400th of a second off what Biology had. Vinci now on the mediums 121.864. He is only 300th of a second off of what Biology did, so they're pretty good in terms of it is a laps in on these mediums. Of course, they done like Vinci has done like 3 laps on those mediums, so might affect him maybe a bit in the race, because that's about 2 laps less than what you would expect to run on those tires there. Let's see what's going to happen when he does get into that session here, though. Hopefully works out pretty well for him. I don't know if it's going on with the stream again. Let's see what's happening. We're definitely not having a good streaming day today, guys. Let me see what's happening on this and now. Okay, so I think we're getting back online. I really am not sure what the heck is going on today. Not our day for streaming, but we're still gonna try and get through this entire session. As we still got at least an hour more to go to get through the race and qualifying 3. Hopefully it stays as it should. I'm not even sure what the heck is gonna happen. Let's see what goes on as we get into it. Can I get into this or not? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. We're probably gonna have to wait until Q3 is finished before we get back in. I don't think it's gonna let us in that easily right now. I'm not sure if I'm the only one with issues at this point in the session. I don't think it's gonna let us in until we get into qualifying 3, so that's probably like another 10 minutes to go before. Okay, there we go. I guess at least one thing we are right about. We got 9 drivers into qualifying 3 at this point. Most likely Little Etty, Smith, Cavemeister, Aiden, Ace, Lancer, Farrell G, Over, and Vinci made it into the session. So let's see where these guys stand at the end of it in terms of their starting positions on the grid. Of course, remember we got 17 drivers in total to start this race off, so going to be quite an interesting session. This session is only 12 minutes long. We're already down to 10.5 minutes. Well, it's about 10.5. Yeah, so not a lot of time for them to get their lap times in. Usually you do about 2 hot laps in here, 3 depending on how you feel the car and how much you're willing to push on the set of tires you currently have on. Of course, everyone's going to be running on the soft tires here at the moment. We got quite a few cars on outlaps, at least half of them. Everyone else trying to get out into the track right now. I think they're also trying to give each other some space on track. Don't want to you know, get in each other's way in terms of qualifying laps, and that's not good. That's probably that McLaren. I thought he was going to be out of the session. I think he just lost the front wing. So he's going to have to get back into the pits. That's time wasted here in qualifying 3 for the Letty right. Well, not good at this point. Thank you very much, Todd. Good to be back again on this here. I'm really not sure what's going on today with our connection side. I'm not sure why we're having connection issues like this. I haven't had issues like this for a very, very long time. And yeah, hopefully we can get that sorted through. I'm really still trying to figure that out at this point here. At least the stream did not end while we're trying to restart the entire console getting back on. Shouldn't have anyway with the setups we have. Try to prevent that at this point. So hopefully we're good as we get on through with this. So Cavemeister here, let's see the Red Bull. Might be one of the first to set a lap time in. Let's see who's going to be the first on that there. I think Penalty is a bit further out in front. Let's have a look. No, actually he's behind. And he's at the purple sector 1. So possibly doing a better lap than the Red Bull driver here. So let's see if that's actually going to be happening or not as they get on through to the end of this. But so far so good in the session. So far not so good in terms of our stream consistency going through. Trying to see where everyone is on track there at the moment. So let's see, Cavemeister should be finishing off a lap here pretty soon as he gets around there right about now, and let's see where that's gonna take him. A 121.5, not too bad of a time, but remember Q1 we had 3 of these guys into the 120s, so I think we're looking at some of these drivers getting back into the 120s at the end of the session, and he really went for those advertisement boards through the runoff area there. Let's get on to someone else on track here at the moment. On with Ace, and let's see where his lap time is going to take him at the end of this. I think Aiden's on the lap, possibly just behind him there. Is he? Yep, he is behind him. Let's see how these two get on. That Lancer and move over on outlaps at the moment, as well as Little Etty there, who just got a new front wing on, I believe. We're trying to get back out right about now. 3 drivers with lap times in, 6 more to get some times in. We got Ace with a 122.9. Aiden goes fastest in the session at 121.1. Not too bad of a time. We'll hold him off on provisional pole for the start of the Thailand Grand Prix so far. Let's see if he can keep that for the rest of the session. Of course, we're thinking not, as we still got over 7 minutes left. Everyone's going to get back out on track and possibly try to get a better time in. We're on with move over at the moment here. And let's see where his time is going to take him as he gets around in the after a bit of time. And let's see if we're looking at possibly any purple sectors as he gets through the lap there. A little Letty on a lap there as well. I think he just went past Little Letty for some reason. That possibly moving slow. I'm not really sure. Let's have a quick look at that there. Anyway, let's stay a bit on board and see how this is going through for them. So we're getting pretty close now to the start of the race here, guys. Yes, about 6.5 minutes or under that to go here for qualifying 3, and we get straight into the race start itself. we've been waiting for quite a bit now. Seems like such a long time with all the issues we've been having on the stream. Thanks for everyone who still stayed on to watch what's going on. I know most of you will just watch the race portion of the stream. Either way, let's have a look at the results of qualifying 3 before we do get there. 6 minutes more for that. And yeah, we got Lancer on track as well in the Haas, where he goes by the end of this. Looks like Move Over goes 7th fastest at 123.1. Not too bad of a time. Little Etty now goes 2nd fastest. Actually gets a lap time in behind the Alfa Romeo driver. He gets a 121.1. Aiden now goes for a 120.7. Puts himself, will keep himself up on a provisional pole there at the moment. I think he's really trying to keep that position going all the way through to the end of the session here, and he might just be able to pull that off. I mean, at 120.7, not too bad. Now Lancer goes 120.8, only a tenth of the time, so it's getting pretty close out front right now. As you said, we did expect those 120s to start showing themselves up back at the end of this qualifying session. We're right down to the end of it. We're at about 5 minutes remaining right now. Let's see where the rest of these guys are gonna go with this here. I think Ace is back on track for another lap here. We know we got Smith for a lap at the moment in the LP, and let's see where he goes. Trying to work his way through sector 2 right about now. Not sure if he did have a proper sector or not. Seems to be doing pretty well. Pushing as much as he can through this current lap here. And Smith goes third fastest at 121.090. Missed that by about 900 of a second to get into the 120, so not too bad of a time. Who is currently running on track? Looks like everyone's getting back into the pits and possibly getting out for one final run here. In terms of getting a good lap in the qualifying 3. Got Vinci on an out lap already, so let's see where he goes by the end of this one. I think everyone's going to get out just behind of him and possibly try to get the laps in. Okay, so let's stay on with this as Vinci gets on his final lap here. Let's see if he can get a better time. In 2 minutes 30 seconds left here in qualifying 3 for everyone currently out on track. Well, getting out on track right now, I should say. Aiden Bell getting on back on track as well. It was the Lancer there. Those two separated by a tenth at the moment. So let's see if that's going to be a switch in terms of provisional pole for the start of the Italian Grand Prix. That'd be an interesting battle between the two of them in the race. Either way, let's see if that's going to work. Ace out of the session, probably retired off of it. Satisfied with his time. They're still starting in the top 10. He's starting 8 on the grid. That is, of course, if Move Over doesn't get a better time in, but he's not on track, so possibly not going to try for a better time at this point here right now. Let's see if he is or isn't. Once again, guys, thanks to everyone who's currently joined on to our stream or who has joined on to our stream. Please make sure you guys do leave a like on the stream. Really appreciate you guys doing that, and make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel if you're new around here. I know most of you have been here before, or some of you have been here before, some of you are still new on here. Make sure you do that. Thank you guys very much. Got some cars going slow here. I think Vincy's out of it. I think he's finished. He might be staying at 5th. A 50 is going to hold for him. See what's going to happen. Now we got a McLaren here going through sector 1 right about now. There is Aiden and Lancer here at the moment. That is where Lancer is sector 1. Aiden there going through sector 2. Does he get a purple sector 2? Have a look at how that goes for him. Going a bit slow though, so might have lost it on this lap here. Got a yellow flag in that sector there as well. Something's definitely happened somewhere. Lancer, of course, is going for it. Does Aiden have enough time? 46 seconds to get around. Not sure if he's going to try to get around to possibly get a final lap in on that set of tires. He might just try to do it. Let's see if that's going to happen or not as we get around here. This got less than about 30 seconds left in the session. Coming quite close to this to see whether Aiden or Lancer is going to be on provisional pole for the start of the race. And that is it for Lancer. He's gone wide and invalidated the lap. So he's going to have to start second on the grid. Aiden looks like he's going to be able to hold off with his provisional pole there at the moment, unless someone else can deny him that. Smith there in third at the moment, and I think he's made it across the line to try for one final lap, so he still is in contention for this in terms of getting on provisional pole, at least even getting on to second if he can. He's down to fourth right now. Got a little edgy up into third at 121.0. He did make another lap in that McLaren and put his car up a pretty good position. K-Meister now finishes across the line into third, goes down to fourth as Vinci goes up into second. Quite a bit of change happening as we close off qualifying 3 here at this point right now. Not a bad run from the Williams driver here, getting up into second. That's on the first row of the grid, so he's gonna have a pretty good start as we get around to the race start itself here. Let's see what's happening down at the bottom. Where is Smith on track? I want to see if he does get a better time in. He's pushing as much as he can in the Alpine right now. He needs to avoid invalidating the lap at this point. So quite a lot of changes happening in the final minute here of qualifying 3. Tries to keep that car stable, getting off that turn, and he does so pretty well so far, getting around the Parabolica right about now. And let's see, can he improve in the current lap time that he has? Aiden gets an even faster time. He did make another lap in with that 40 seconds that he had at 120.5, 2/10 faster, and Smith does go faster though by just about 300 of a second, at least about 200 of a second, I'll say, from what I'm seeing here. So Smith grabs provisional pole right up at the end on his final run there, just after Aiden tries to keep it by going about 2/10 faster than whoever was in second. So not a bad finish. Quite an interesting finish here for the qualifying 3 session with NOMEX Racing. So there we have it. Smith will be starting on pole for the Italian Grand Prix. We got Aiden starting second. We got Lance will be starting third. And we got Vinci starts fourth. Caveman will start fifth. Lileti there 6th. Priority starts 7th. Ace starting 8th. And Move Over will start in 9th. Not too bad of a qualifying session. Those lap times though, pretty impressive. We got top 5 in the 120s. Everyone else in the 121 except Move Over there 122.4, but still not too bad with the lap time. I think it's going to be quite an interesting race. So we're going to give the guys about a minute or two to load that through. Yeah, and then let's see what the race start is going to be like as we get around to it. Sorry about that, guys. Forgot to set back one of my audio settings when I restarted the console. Avoid everyone's mic getting caught on the stream and creating a whole set of noise. I think we're good right about now. We're just waiting for the race session to get loaded on now, and then we shall see what's going to happen. Okay, so here we go on with the formation lap. It's going to be a 27 lap race here around the circuit. So let's get some settings on and have a look at what we're gonna have happen. We're gonna keep that on, of course. Position changes, stops, tires. Let's have a look at what tires you guys are gonna be starting the race on. Of course, let's see. So we got our top 6 drivers starting on the mediums. Everyone else currently starting on the soft compound tires there. So going to be an interesting start with the top 6 because they're going to be running a much longer stint before actually getting into their first pit stop. Or unless something happens in the opening stages of the race that causes maybe a VSC or a full safety car. We'll see what's going to happen in that case. We might be looking at some yellow flags though on opening lap. Just depends how well or how bad this actually is going to go. We'll see what happens. But yeah, 27 laps. Some interesting racing here, and yep, it'll be quite an interesting one. Let's get this back where we need. I think we're gonna leave it on position change so we can see, or at least you guys can be able to see what's gonna happen on the opening lap of the race. Alright, so we're getting through sector 3 right about now. Got majority of the grid bunched up just a bit at the back there for some reason. I think they're all catching up to each other right about now. I don't think that Alpine wants to be sitting on the grid start too long and allow those tires and brakes to get back cold because they're trying to warm it up all along through the formation lap here. Okay, so we can see the starting grid as it is here right about now. Let's see who's gonna get a good start off of this race and who isn't. We're gonna keep it on Smith and Aiden Bell out in front there. Let's see who gets a better run down hit the third one as they get started with this race, waiting for those lights to start to go on. And they're off. Let's see who's gonna get a better run. Looks like Smith did get a pretty good run off the line, but Lancer, they are trying to get ahead of the Mercedes. He's already up into second, trying to get a run because Aiden holding off in the lead as they get a run in through turn 1. So far so good out in front. I'm not sure if anything's happening down in the back, but we'll have a quick look in just a bit. See what's happening with that, but so far so good as they all get it wrong. Haven't seen any major incidents until we have a yellow flag there in sector 1 as yet as they get into sector 2. Pretty clean so far as Smith has lost the lead. He's lost 2 positions so far in this race. And yeah, Lancer chasing after the Mercedes of Aiden at the moment, trying to get around but having a very difficult time doing that. I think Aiden's doing a pretty good job keeping that lead, and he definitely will want to keep it going through at least through the first lap, and trying to distance himself maybe a bit from the house if he can before we do have DRS come online, but he's trying to fight for the position as they get into the next turn. He might try to outbreak him or might just hold it off through. Holds it into the race line at the moment. Doesn't want to take a chance here. And looks like Ace is out of the session. Something happened down at the back. If we can have a look, and his car is stuck somewhere on track there. Definitely a major incident on track as it is. Looks like Kirkwood might have been involved in that. I'm not sure. He's lost part of his front wing, and he's still going though. Definitely some damage as we got Kirkwood going straight in the back of, I think that Ferrari loses the entire front wing. This might be calling for a virtual, there we go. We got a virtual safety car. I'm not sure if we're going to have a full safety car for this because Ace's car is still stuck on track there in sector 3. Let's see what's going to happen. But at the moment, we do have a VSC. We're going to have some pit stops happening as these guys get around, maybe somewhere in the back of the grid at least there. So as it is, guys, still under safety car rules in the VSC. No overtaking during this portion of the session until that VSC is over. They do still have to reduce their speed by 40% and just continue on just to keep so give them some time to clear everything off the track. Hopefully it can be cleared before we get back around to that point there. Lancer, of course, keeping himself as close as he can to Aiden as they go through on this VSC, just waiting for it to be over to go back on the attack again here. And so far so good. A pretty good battle between the two of them as they got started with this race. Unfortunate for Smith, losing 2 positions. He's down in turret still. He still stands a pretty good chance of fighting back for a P1. May have to work this through with his pit stop strategy, but let's see what's going to happen with that there. So a few minor incidents in the session so far. Unfortunately, we already have ace out. 16 drivers, however, remain. Recruit there went into the back of a Ferrari, lost his entire front wing. I'm not sure what's going to happen in that portion there. Might have to get the stewards involved. I think the drivers are going to be handling that at the end of the session. That might be looked into at the end of the session. Maybe any necessary penalties given out if needed as they look into that there. I think we're back racing here right about now. Yep, DRS online here as well as we get into lap 3. Going to be interesting as we go into turn 1. We got Lancer and Aiden side by side on this. We got the Haas on the inside. Tries to go side by side with him through turn 1. Memories from last year there. And I think they made it through pretty well. So far so good with this two. They're still a bit side by side as Lancer now takes over the lead of the Italian Grand Prix though. Aiden down to second now. He's gonna definitely try to fight back for that position. Smith there still in third, now goes up into second. He's fighting for a position. Something's happened to Aiden. He's falling down the order. And let's try to have a look what's happened to the Mercedes down in the back. I'm not sure if he took any damage. Doesn't seem like there's any damage on the front wing as he's going to keep going. He's lost quite a few positions though. And probably going to try to get back up. Let's see what's going to happen. Back up with Smith though. He's back up into second. And I think he's going to try to keep that position as long as he can here. Did start the race in P1. And had a bit of a difficult time going through this. Let's have a look at cars as it is for these here right about now. Just getting started, so I don't think anyone's going to be doing any much stops at the moment. I'm going to take that off and see how this race continues on here. Very long run down into turn 1. Always makes for an interesting overtake move as we get around here. Smith gets back the lead finally of this race into lap 4. And let's see how long he's actually going to hold off on that here. He does have the pace in that car in terms of trying to get it. I think he was just playing a bit of a waiting game and trying to get it back. He's already 1.4 seconds ahead of Lancer in the Haas, and something's happened to Ferrari possibly at the back there. I'm not sure. He's fighting it with Vinci for 3rd place. See if we can have a look what's happening. Some contact with the McLaren and the Mercedes here. I'm not sure what's happening at the moment. And the gaming currently fastest in the session. We do have some rider contact happening in the session. No yellow flags though, as we're going to keep going with this. In McLaren, they're in 5th. Let's see what's going to happen as it gets on through gaps. So at the moment as they are, we do have some pretty close gap. We're trying to keep an eye on here. Smith there lost a bit of time as Lancer is dropping back down to 1 second. He's trying to get within DRS range if he can. Not having the best of luck with it, but he's still going to push on through for it. Vinci there in 3rd, just under a second. He is within DRS range of the Haas driver and will continue pushing on through for that to see if he can get an overtake done. Already on a podium position, but wants to possibly get into P1. Take a race win here at Italy if possible. Smith in the Alpine though, I think he's definitely in contention of possibly trying to win this race. He did start P1, had a pretty good qualifying session trying to get himself up there. He's not going to want to lose that position again. Going to have to be careful on the pit stops or any future safety cars that happen in this race here. We've already had one VSC with the issues that happened before with Ace and there. We got Miles out of the session now. I'm not sure where he went out, but something did happen. We're down to 15 drivers remaining at the moment. I think Cape Meister there might be possibly trying to get the move done here. He's within just a few hundred of a second. He's side by side actually with the Alpine of West trying to get ahead. He does get up into 7th. So the Red Bull makes a pretty good move there. Gets into 7. That's West down to 8 right now. And I think we're going to keep it at that position as they have going down. Out in front of, let's see what's happening. Smith under pressure now as Lancer now goes 6 tenths behind them. Gains a bit of an advantage. And he now, of course, has that DRS advantage going into the next lap here. Let's see if that's going to help him as they get into lap 6. Remember that very long run down here to turn 1 helps these guys out a lot in terms of slipstreaming, getting an overtake done. And of course, as we saw happen before in this session, let's see if it's going to happen again. Close gap as he tries to get alongside that Haas and uses the slipstream as much as he can. Now side by side with him, he's going to get ahead. The Williams is up into 2nd as Lance goes down to 3rd. Was trying to get up into the lead, not looking too promising here at the moment. We got a full safety car here at the moment. Something's happening on track. I think it's a recruit at the moment there. I'm not sure what's happening, but definitely I think he's out. He's definitely out of the session right about now. That's gonna be a full safety car. This is going to trigger some pit stops in this race. We're on lap 6 of 27. And we got quite a lot of drivers who started this race on the soft tires. Our top few drivers did start on the mediums, but we're definitely going to see some pit stops happen here as they all get a run back and about to go into lap 7. They're still getting a run early off in the lap here when the safety car happened, so they're going to have to get all the way around the track, and we will definitely see some pit stops. We'll see what's going to happen out front. They're going to be interesting. Is Smith going to take a pit stop? He started the race on the mediums. Is he going to just push on through with this and take his pit stop much later in the session, or will he make a switch here right about now? If he does switch to the soft, not going to work all the way to the end. He might have to switch to the hards and hopes that that will actually get him to the end, or might just continue off in the race. Vinci, Lancer there, Fiology, Liletti, I think they're all going to be watching on him leading the race to see whether he does take a pit stop or not. They have the advantage running behind him, and he is going to be at a bit of a disadvantage. We've seen this many times in F1. Leader has to decide whether he's going to go in or not. Cars behind, they can just make a decision based on what the leader actually does. So they've distanced themselves just a bit here. Vinci, they're 1.4 seconds behind, and looks like Smith does go into the pits. Let's see what the change is going to be, and it's a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and that's going to hurt his race as he now has to have that to deal with. He's going on the hards. 5 seconds being served in the pits right about now. He is going to lose positions here. Of course, we're still under the safety car, so let's see how badly that's going to affect his race. But he has lost quite a few positions with that 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He's now getting back out on track, and he's coming out in 11th here at the moment. We're still under the safety car. We still got a few more cars exiting the pits there. Does he still have that penalty, or did he serve it? I'm trying to have a look at that there. I have a feeling that he served it, but that's still, no, he still has it. I thought he served it because he was stuck in the pit lane for quite a bit before actually the pit crew let go of the car. I'm not sure where that was. I think it probably was because other cars were coming into the pit lane at the same time, so traffic held him up. It wasn't that he served the 5-second penalty. Not having a smooth stream according to what this crap is saying. I'm not even sure if that's true or not at this point. We're just gonna keep this going. So far I can see everything running smoothly. Either way, let's see what's gonna happen here, guys. So getting back out in front, let's see what's happening out in front on track here right about now. So Vinci leading this race here at the moment under the safety car, as we can see there. We got Liletti running in second. Nice one now up to third. Cave Meister in fourth. Got West in fifth. We got Hess there in 6th, 8 7, Burgerella 8, Feralty in 9th, Lancer down to 10th, he took a stop as well. Smith there in 11th, of course Lancer was behind, Aiden Bell down to 12. Let's see what's going to happen when things switch back around with pit stops there. Panda Gaming 13 and move over in 14. We got Recruit, Miles and Ace unfortunately out of this race session. I think it's going to stay that way for them. Let's see what the top 14 left in the session can do with the rest of the laps. We got about 21 laps, well, 20 laps now remaining in the session here. Waiting for that safety car to go in. Haven't counted how many laps has actually been out, so it might be going in on the next lap here. Hopefully, I think everything on track is actually clear, so we might have the safety car go in on this current lap. We'll have a look at that when we get around into sector 3. They should let us know. Race control will let us know if it's going to be going in or not at this point here. To see who's going to be staying in contention for holding positions at the end of this race. We'll see what's going to happen by the time we get around to lap 20. Might give us a bit of a better grasp on possibly who's going to finish on top here and who's going to be out of the top 10 in terms of no points for the session. Got you guys warming up the tires as much as they can. We're about to enter into sector 3. Let's see, are we going to have that safety car go in on this current lap and get back to racing, which we're hoping for at this point here right about now. Yep, there we go. So race control confirms we do have the safety car going in on this current lap. We're going to get back to racing, and let's see how well the rest of the session is going to go. Okay, so we're trying to keep an eye on the front of the grid here right about now with the Williams and the McLaren of Vinci and Liletti there. Let's see what's going to happen with these two as they get back started here right now. And remember, no overtaking until they get across that white line, which these two are about to do right now. And straight into turn one is a 310 gap between them as they go down that straight. And the McLaren definitely trying to slipstream a bit before possibly just trying to... Oh, there's another 5-second penalty for a severe collision down in the back there. Not sure what happened, but something did happen down in the back. These two are holding positions as it is there right now. Ice1 holds his position in third as well. I think everyone kept their position going on through that. We got 3 drivers currently with penalties on the grid. Let's see how the rest of this race is going to go on into lap 9 of 27. And so far, so good. Keeping it as clean as they can here. It's a 410 gap between the top two. 1.1 second with Ice1 just behind of that. He's trying to break that gap down, trying to keep himself within the DRS range for when that comes back online, which will be in just a short while here as we continue on with the battle up front for the race lead as it is. And remember, both of these guys still on the medium tires that they started the race on. They haven't done a pit stop as yet, not even under that safety car. The McLaren, of course, definitely looking for a gap to go on here to get into the lead, not getting instant move it. Of course, he has to be extremely careful, doesn't want to take a risk of making a move that doesn't work out because it's going to cost him positions with drivers literally just 1.4 second behind of him. I said an entire line coming behind, so it's not going to be 1 or 2 positions to lose. It's going to be a lot more if that does happen. So here we go into lap 10. It's a much closer gap between the two of them as the McLaren now tries to go on the inside, and he definitely might be pushing for that overtake to go. And looks like the straight line speed worked out pretty well for him as the Williams is still trying to fight it through, but has to settle for a second here as they get around that turn one. And yeah, he's down to second. Means he's gonna hold off to that position as much as he can. Ice1, of course, within a second there. He's trying to keep it there if he can. Cavemeister 1.8 seconds behind, not working too well for him, but still in fourth place. A pretty good position in the race as it is there right now. Smith and Brokerella down the back. Let's have a look what's happening there in the midfield at the moment. Smith is up to 9th already. Brokerella down just behind him, trying to find for a position, but I'm not sure how well it's going to work out. And where is Aiden? Down to 13. He's in the pits again there. Not sure what's happening. Not having the best of race this evening here at Italy, but still possibly going to try to finish wherever he can on the grid. Panda Gaming running 11th, only a 10th behind Gorilla. So pretty interesting battle between these two as they're side by side going on it here. Let's see who's going to get out in front. Looks like the Ferrari might have the advantage as he holds off. What's happening? Does he get the advantage? Looks like he did. And he's gotten a bit of a gap there as well. 1.3 seconds already. Quite interesting to see how that worked out. Smith here trying to get around A-Lad now. He's in 9th, trying to get up into 8th. DRS is now back online. Let's see how that works. So out in front, Little Eddie and Vinci, 3/10 between the two of them. He's a 3-second penalty with Brokerella now. Okay, so let's switch this up a bit. Hess here in 5th. I haven't followed him too much in the other McLaren. But yeah, we're driving in a pretty good position. He's up into P5. His teammate leading the race, so I think he's trying to catch up to him out in front. It's a 3 to 410 gap to catch up to West here now, being in front of him. Let's see how well that's actually going for him as he's still trying to keep up with the Alpine as much as he can. Trying to keep an eye on Smith down in the back there. Vinci now 3/10 behind that McLaren as well. So McLaren's both running on pretty good positions, both in battles here on track at the moment. So let's follow on with Hester. Let's see if he's able to pull this move off. He's trying to go side by side with that Alpine, but unable to pull it on through from now. He's going to stay in the slipstream and possibly trying to make the advantage down the start finish straight if he can. Does have some problems with Lancer coming behind of him though in the house, trying to get around. There's about a 210 gap between, so he definitely will try for advantage as they get around here. So trying to go side by side on the inside, and he does get around up into 5th. He has just lost that position. Might try to get it back on the outside on that start finish straight as they go around. Has the straight line speed. The Alpine and they caught in the middle of this. I think it might be 3 wide going in, but unfortunately the Haas doesn't have any room to make it through. A bit of bumping as they get through turn 1. We have the Alpine of West Out in front, Lancer 5th and Hess runs 6th there at the moment. Trying to see if Lancer is going to be able to get past the Alpine. Takes it on the inside and he might have just gotten that done. Of course, the Alpine is still trying to fight it back as it is at the moment. There's a 4th place is what they're fighting for here at the moment. Out in front of that is 4.8 second gap towards getting onto a podium position, which is what the aim is. Lancer now starting to form a bit of a gap up to 8/10 ahead of the Alpine, and he's going to try to carry that out. Hess, of course, still now down into 6th. Has lost a position here, but still trying to fight on through. He was in 5th trying to fight for a better position, now down by 1. And I think he's under pressure from Cave Meister just behind of him in the Red Bull there, who's trying to go on the inside, but possibly, I think just kept the racing line. They're being as careful as they can here at this point. No one's taking any unnecessary risk. I mean, they are taking some risk on this. We're on lap 12 of 27, approaching the halfway point, and we got a virtual safety car for us. Something's happened on track. I'm gonna try to figure that out in a bit. We got Ice One into the pits. Where is the race leader? Continues on through with Vinci just behind of him. Let's see how many pit stops. Lancer going into the pits, West into the pits. Cape Meister looks like he is continuing on through and up into 3rd in this race now. So I think we're going to have majority of our pit stops happen under this VSC. Of course, guys, the VSC is not going to last very long, so they're going to have to make that pit stop very, very quick. And yeah, get back out on track and let's see what that's going to work out. Top 3 did not take a pit stop in this occasion here. Ice One looks like he's still out. Drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC, and that's not going to work too well in terms of his race finishing position there. Remember, he cannot serve a drive-through penalty whilst under a VSC, which is now over, so he can serve it on the next lap now. And yeah, but still gonna hurt this race quite a bit as we now get back going here. 2.8 seconds where the gap is between Little Letty and Vinci for the lead. Let's see how that works out. And we got Cape Meister's out of race, so something's happened. Let's see if we can have a look what the heck happened here. And there's his car on the right side of the track. So something's happened to the Red Bull driver. I'm not sure what that was. Are we going to have a yellow flag alone for that, or is that going to be a VSC? Is it going to be a full safety car? I think he's on the side of the track, so it's not really affecting the race. So it looks like the marshals, race control has decided to just leave that be. And we continue on with the race as it is there right now. Ice One getting back into the pit, or he's not getting back. He's serving his drive-through penalty at this point here. And this is how much it's going to hurt his race. As we can have a look, cars getting past. He's down to 5th. Now down to 6th, 7th. And this is how much time it takes to do a drive-through penalty and how much positions you can lose in a race. Let's see what's happening out front here, because we got Panda Gaming and Hess, I think, fighting for a position that Ferrari was trying to get around the McLaren. Or was it the other way around? We were just having a look from the pit lane side there, so not entirely sure what was happening. Looks like Spit just got a move done on Bro Gorilla. He's up into 11. He's been all over the grid this evening in this race session. We're on lap 14 of 27 by the way, so just past the halfway point of the race now. We got another 18 minutes or so more to go for this session. 2.6 seconds is where the gap is out front. Now there goes the Ferrari, gets past the McLaren, and a pretty decent pass there as well, as he now gets up into 5th, heads down to 6th. Couldn't keep up with the Ferrari powered car. What is A-Lad at the moment? He's trying to catch up to the McLaren as much as he can. Looks like Panda Gaming now up into 4th. Flying through the track here at the moment. Let's see if he's able to hold off on that position there. They are definitely trying to get around. West might have to hold off on this, so he's going to try to pull on the inside. No, he is not. Going to hold his position here in 5th. And just try to keep it going around. Little Etty leading this race and doing pretty well. 1.6 second gap towards Vinci behind of him. Lancer another 24.4 seconds behind, and I think there are pit stop times clear behind of him. So Little Etty can get into the pace and get back out in second.
I think 24 seconds is more than enough time to do a pit stop here in Italy and get back out on track with a car that's coming around that gap behind of you. So those two are looking at finishing P1 and possibly P2. Depends how Vinci plays this. Let's see if they're going to take their pit stop anytime soon. I think they both started on the mediums and they're still running on them. Let's have a quick look at that there. So they have done a stop, 14 laps each, and there goes Letty. He's in the pits. Vinci's followed him there as well. Let's see where Lancer is going to come around. If he's going to be able to get past them, I think he's going to be right up to the back of them as they get out that pit lane. They're both still in there at the moment, trying to get their tires on and off, and let's see how that's going to work out for them. As the Haas comes around, he's now on the start-finish straight, and he might just be able to pull this off as he goes there now. Let's see, it's going to be quite close as they come towards the pit lane exit, and they're already out. So they're going to hold off on their position, but it's going to provide for an interesting fight for the top three going down to the end of the race. We're on lap 16 as it is. Well, Vinci had a bit of a spin. Cold tires might have had some problems there. Did he take any damage on that car though? Is what I'm wondering. No, it doesn't look like he took any damage. Might have had a bit of a spin. I think he was under a bit of pressure as Lancer was coming around, but he's now up into second. I think he's going to try to keep that position for as long as he can, going all the way to the end of the race at this point here. Let's have a look. How old are his tires that he does have on there? And he's on, of course, mediums that are 2 laps old. The Letty and Vinci on fresh soft tires. They have a bit more advantage here. Of course, Vinci should have a more advantage in terms of trying to catch up to him, but those tires might be a bit dead as he gets down to the end of the race. Let's see if he can hold it off true. I don't think we need anything on here at the moment. Just take that all off. And Letty has a penalty. Unfortunate for our race leader here. Has a penalty. Might be costing him a race win here this evening in Italy. Let's see if he can hold it up. I think it's a 3-second penalty, is it? Was that? Oh no, it was a 5-second penalty that he had. Forgot about that. So 5-second penalty, definitely not going to go too well. He needs to create a better gap against the Haas driver behind of him. Of course, on the fresher tires, on faster tires, might be able to pull this off with just around 10 laps remaining in the race. Let's see if he's actually able to do that. He's 3.5 seconds clear of Lancer at the moment. Vinci, of course, on soft tires as well, would have had a less of an advantage there. Let's see what's going to happen as we get down to the end of this race. Hess with a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. One bit of thing that these guys might want to start being a bit careful with in terms of getting in out of that pit lane. If you do speed across the line on the pit lane entry, you are going to get a penalty for it. Of course, it's manual entry into the pit lane, so they have to be extremely careful in terms of activating that pit limiter getting in there. We're up to 3.9 seconds right now between the McLaren and the Haas. It needs to go 5 seconds and more for Letty to actually keep a race win here this evening. Lancer though might try to fight this 3.9 seconds. Let's see what he can do within the next 5 laps. And if that's going to go up or down, seems to be just going further away from him. Of course, he still is going to be finishing on the podium, but a race win this close, I think he's definitely going to try to get it. Those tires might be limiting him just a bit, but let's see. There wasn't too big of a gap in terms of qualifying on these mediums on the softs here on track. So let's see if that's going to be anything in terms of what the Haas driver can use to his advantage, but doesn't seem like it's working for him because it's now up to 4.3 seconds. Letty is gained close to about a second off of him already. I'll say about 8/10. Gorilla out of the session, Cave Meister out, so we're down to 12 drivers remaining in this race right about now. We're on with a full safety car. This is going to be interesting. Is Letty and Lancer here? Would both of them go into the pit lane right now? I mean, Letty on fresh tires, he might want to push that car all the way to the end of the race, but what's going to happen with Lancer here? Is he going to take a chance and take a pit stop as they get around? It's a full safety car. They have actually the time to do this right now, so let's see what's going to happen as they all get around to the pit lane entry in about half a lap's time. This is actually going to make for some interesting racing. Tires online and see what's going to happen as we get around there. It's only been 1 lap done for both Letty and Vinci on those soft tires. They're about to finish off 2 laps on them. Lancer, of course, might want to take a chance here from those mediums, go into a fresh set of sauce and fight his way back up to the front. Into a good podium position if he can, but of course it's a risk here. Let's see what he's gonna do. I mean, drivers behind Vinci have all the tires on, might come to his advantage for them, but would he be able to get into back into P1 or P2 if he does take a stop here? Let's have a look at our race leader. He is going into the pits. Of course, this might trigger Lancer to go into the pits here as well. And let's see, isn't he definitely he is gonna go. Let's see if Vinci does not go into the pits. He's gonna continue on, takes over the lead of the race. Let's see if this is the advantage he needed, if those tires are gonna take him to the end of the race after the safety car goes in. Of course, cars behind of him, we got West going in there as well. They're all gonna be on fresh soft tires coming back out. Oh, West did not go in. He's 5 laps done on his soft tires. He's gonna continue on in the race. I think by the time that safety car goes in, we'll probably have over like 5 or 6 laps remaining in the session. I think probably with 6 laps would actually come to a point where Vinci and West can hold everyone off until the finish line. Let's see what's gonna happen in that case. Move over hasn't taken a stop as well. He's on 5 lap old mediums. Gonna be a bit of a disadvantage here. Little Etty on fresh mediums. Doesn't look like he has any more fresh set of soft tires, so he's gonna go on that. Let's see how he's gonna finish off with the race here. Bit of an interesting strategy going on as we get it wrong. Lancer on fresh soft tires gets back out. Panda Gaming in 5th now. Move over running 6th. A-Lad in 7th. Ice One running 8th. Triology running 9th. Aiden 10th. Smith 11th. Hess in 12th. So majority of our drivers have taken pit stops here under this safety car, which probably will be our final safety car of the session. And yeah, let's see how well that's actually going to work for them in terms of strategy to finish the race. And this is usually what would happen in the race. No matter how well you plan a race strategy out, you gotta account for safety cars and VSCs in a session to just bring about a few changes as what's happening here right now. So everyone currently running and lining up behind the safety car as it is. I'm just waiting for that to go back in so we can get back racing here. I'm assuming, guys, we're probably going to have the safety car go in at the end of this current lap. Let's see if that's going to happen or not. I think everything has been cleared off the track. I think we should be good for go back to racing here. Should be back to racing on lap 21. Hopefully, we'll have a look as we get around. Got our 3 cars down in the back. They're trying to catch up to the safety car queue there at the moment. Okay, so there we have it. Safety car is going to be in on this current lap. VT is going to hold back the grid just a bit. The safety car goes away and goes back into the pit lane, and they're going to just be weaving quite a lot right about now to get those tires back up to temperature to get back to racing, as we can see happening there. Okay, so coming around the parabolic right about now, let's see how this is going to work out with our top 3. Vinci, Lilati, and Lancer be fighting for that race lead at the moment. Panda Gaming possibly trying to get into the middle of that. Let's see how that's going to work out. The Haas definitely trying to get past the McLaren as Vinci leads them a bit out front. Ferrari just behind of that there, and let's see everyone's going to keep their positions getting on through the first turn at the moment. And looks like it's going pretty well so far on that restart. A few position changes in the midfield though as we get along with this. Gonna have a look, keep an eye between Lancer, Panda Gaming, and then Little Etty just in front of them. Vinci out in front seems to be creating a bit of a gap as he gets on through. He's already a second ahead of the McLaren and might actually try to keep that gap going all the way to lap 27 if he can here. I think that's what his plan is at this point. Of course, remember, he's on 4-lap old soft tires. Everyone else behind of him on the fresh set of tires. Of course, Little Etty though on a fresh set of mediums, which I think he's hoping is a bit slower than his softs, and he's going to be holding up the rest of the grid, possibly here, if they can get past him. Lancer, of course, in the house, trying to get past right about now, because doesn't want to be stuck behind that McLaren. I think, but I think Letty still does have some decent pace getting on through, just about a second behind. Dropping right about now, and let's see, it's a 5-10 gap between Lancer and Letty. You see that working out. Panda Gaming for 3/10 behind, and he is trying to break the gap down as much as he can. They're about to go into the next lap, and let's see what that was. A Ferrari, of course, gaining on the Haas right about now. He's going to go into the inside and try to get that move done. Let's see if he's able to pull it up. McLaren out in front trying to hold his position at this point, and the Ferrari is going to go for it at the end portion of this race and still doesn't actually get the advantage. He has to hold off in P4, so position try for not accomplished. He's going to have to just push on through the rest of the race and try that move once again. He's right up to the rear of that car though, trying to get a move done around the outside. That gap closes very quickly as he's still only a 10th behind right about now. The McLaren now under pressure as Lancer here, he's going to try to get by. Has to slot in on the racing line because a bit of a tight few corners as they have going through here in sector 2. This might have to hold off to sector 3, maybe keep it until they get onto that south finish straight. I think is where most road takes have happened during this session as well. And they're pushing on through for that to go. Out in front, Vincent leading by 1.4 seconds. His strategy is working like a dream for him at the moment. He's just having to let he hold up the entire grid with those mediums and hoping that they can get past him and he can't keep up with him. So I think he has a bit of an advantage here. Has the McLaren out of DRS advantage and has two cars fighting him for that position. So he's all clear to race out front for the next 5.5 laps or 5 laps that's remaining in this session. Race control has just turned DRS back online. So there is where the advantage is going to come for the cars running behind now. And Lancer's going to get the advantage. Let's see if that's going to help him. So far so good as they keep it going. Panda Gaming lost a bit of time though. He's 1.2 seconds now behind Lancer, out of the DRS advantage. Ice One is within that range. Get an advantage against Smith right about now. Let's see if those two are going to be switching positions quite soon or not. But the Haas here though, pushing as much as he can to try and get past that McLaren, but gotta say, Little Letty doing an excellent job keeping the driver with the better tires behind of him. Has quite a few more laps actually to go with this, so let's see if he's going to actually be able to push this through all the way to the end of this race. It's not too many laps remaining, but it's still going to be a bit difficult to do. Vinci, of course, running an excellent race out front, 2.4 seconds clear of the Latina McLaren. Of course, he's busy fighting with 2 cars behind him, or 3 cars behind him, I gotta say. So let's see where the advantage goes for him. I gotta say, I think we might be a bit surprised that Little Letty is actually able to hold off Lancer for this long, even with the start finish straight as it is there. But he's gonna come at him again. It's only a 10th the gap is right about now. He's gonna push it through on the inside. Let's see if he gets the move done on this particular occasion. Has the Ferrari coming behind as well, so he needs to be very careful in terms of how he goes about with this here. It looks like the Haas has gotten ahead. Lancer finally gets up into second, and he's gonna go after Vinci out in front now. Fresher tires on his car, so let's see if that is gonna play to his advantage. 2.6 seconds is where the gap is, and he needs to break that down within the next 3 laps, or within the next 2 laps, I would say, to get an overtake done here. This might actually cut it down to the final lap between those two for the lead of the race, for the race win as it is going to be, if Lancer is able to catch up, because he's already lost a 10th here. Panda Gaming up into 3rd. Smith running back up into 40s as he said, he's been up and down the grid for the day, and he's trying to get ahead of the Ferrari right about now to get up into a podium position, which he does. He wasn't going to get it anyway because Panda has a penalty there. The Alpine gets up into 3rd, not a bad race that he's had so far. Well, he has had some bad points in this race. He's been all the way down in the back of the grid, but he's now pushing on through 1.9 seconds. We're on lap 24-27. It's cutting it pretty close down to the end of this race. Panda is trying to get back a position here. Not having the best of luck though, and he does have that penalty, but still is going to fight as much as he can to see how many positions he can gain here. Vinci out in front, leading by 2.8 seconds. That's about a tenth or two more loss by Lancer there. We got a Ferrari going side by side with someone there. I think that's with Ice One. He's trying to fight for a position, but Ice One trying to get ahead of him. It looks like Letty is out of the session there. Was running pretty well earlier on and now is currently out. Unfortunate for the McLaren driver, and he is going to be out. That leaves us with 11 drivers remaining in the session. Vinci still leading this race. Lancer is still in second. We got Smith running in third, 2.1 seconds, 2 seconds now, and he's breaking the gap down very, very quickly. We got very limited laps left in the session, though. We're on lap 25 of 27. So can he pull off another overtake before this race comes to a close? Ice One behind of him within a second in the RS range, so he does have that to deal with there. So down to 5/10. I think that's the closest gap we have in the session at the moment. So can the AlphaTauri driver get another position up against the Alpine? Let's see what's going to happen as they come down to the end of this race. Smith trying to hold off for that final podium position, though. And he's trying to gain another position if he can here. Vinci out in front. He's gaining a better lead. 3.3 seconds is what it is. So even if he gets a 3-second penalty, he's still going to win this race. Lancer pushing as much as he can on those soft tires. I think he's going to push him all the way to the end of the race. But 3.3 seconds, I think, is going to be a bit of a gap to work with, unless Vinci makes a mistake, which just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Ice One still 4/10 now behind the Alpine of Smith, and not able to gain that advantage. Finally getting into the pits. Well, this has been one heck of a race from the start coming to the finish. And so we haven't enjoyed this one, so let's see how this actually is going to come to an end. Because anything could happen here. The Letty was running in contention, now out of the race. Ice One still within a second, trying to get up into a podium position here, but having a very difficult time. Panda Gaming has retired from the session. I think he's done that in the pits, possibly, has he? I'm not even sure at this point. But yep, that leaves us with 10 drivers remaining, which means all 10 should be getting points. But let's see how the top few finishers are going to come off in this race. 5-10 gap between Smith and Ice One. This is for the final podium position. Will he be able to get it before the race comes to an end is what we're saying, and I think we're about to go into the final lap here of the Italian Grand Prix, and that's going to be a bit difficult to pull off at this point, and he's losing time right about now. Gap is now over a second. Going to come out of the RS range and not going to be helpful at all here. We might be looking at the current finishing positions of these drivers, unless they get a penalty, because they're pushing pretty hard to the final positions of the race. And let's see what Vinci still holds out to the lead, 3.3 seconds. Older tires than what Lancer has on the Haas, but he's still holding that car true. Not sure if he has some straight line speed. That's working pretty well for him in terms of his car setup, but I think that's what's giving him a bit of an edge over the Haas driver right about now. Smith there trying to break his gap down, not getting too close in terms of it. 1.7 seconds, and we're on the final lap, so this is now working out too well for him. Let's switch off to our race leader, possibly in the final sector of this current lap here, as he's about to get into that pretty soon there as well. Gonna see what's happening here. Ice One trying to get back within a second, but not able to do that. Of course, on the final lap, we're only hoping, well, he's only hoping that someone makes a mistake in front of him for him to get onto a podium position here. Doesn't look like it's going to happen at that point there, though. We'll have a look and see who's going to be getting driver of the day on this one here, though. But Vinci here ran a pretty good race, and I think his strategy worked well on that final safety car, not taking a pit stop as the rest of the driver, and he's now going to get across the line, take a win this evening here for the Italian Grand Prix. Not a bad finish for him. Got Lancer taking second place on the podium. Smith gets across the line, P3, third place on the podium for him. Ice One unfortunately out of podium contention here, but still finishing P4 on the grid. Aiden takes fifth there, and I think it's his team finishing there in 6th. We got IG8Live finishing 7th. Hess is about to get across the line in the McLaren. His teammate unfortunately running pretty well, but out of this race. So Hess gets 8th. Got West finishing in 9th. and we're gonna have move over our final driver coming around to get across the line. He is going to be finishing 10th on the grid, but quite an interesting race. Congratulations to our top 3 finishers there, Vinci, Lancer, and Smith, for the podium positions at the end of this race. Some really good points as well in terms of Drivers' Championship for them. So I think not a bad evening. They've ran a pretty good race, some pretty good battles in the session here as we got through it as well. As I said, been quite a few months since we actually streamed an F1 race, so that was a lot of fun. Minus the connection issues we had through qualifying. Alright, let's have one final look at the results before we close out the session. So race winner there, Vinci there, not a bad drive from him. I guess took one stop in the race. I think that's where his strategy worked out pretty well. Fastest lap goes to Smith there, who finished third on the grid. Just below Lancer, they're finishing second. Ice One taking fourth. We got Aiden Bell there finishing fifth. Biology 6, A-Lab 7, S8, West in 9th, and move over in 10th in the Alfa Romeo. That was our top 10 drivers only who could have finished the race. Everyone else were scored at the DNF, unfortunately. And yep, a pretty good session overall. So thanks to everyone who currently joined on to the stream to watch the race here this evening. Please guys, remember, do leave a like on the stream and remember to subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We'll see you guys on the next stream. Once again, thanks everyone for joining on.